What is going on, YouTube? We're gonna be reacting to my thoughts on the Edge of Fate, Aztecross, the best Destiny content creator out there. Go subscribe to him. We gotta see what this guy's gotta say. He's really funny. If you guys haven't seen his channel, check it out. Let's get it.
I would probably say that.
Okay, wait.
You know, technically in these situations, I would probably say that, yes, I did in fact lie to you. But it's a small technicality here. Number one, I didn't actually play in the most recent capture event. Your man was sick.
Really,
but I did
bro?
play in a previous playtest
No, just
session,
joking.
and that was my experience at the Edge of Fate. And a lot of these systems we're going to be going over today are systems that I myself have
Edge of
seen
Fate
firsthand, that I've
gameplay,
played
guys.
with firsthand.
Aztecross got it
But the
right here
gameplay
for you
that you're
guys.
seeing in front of you is actually gameplay supplied by Bungie, and also gameplay that
I'm gonna
our
put
good
this
friend Vinny has
1440p if I
supplied,
can
who
for
I
you.
highly advise you should check
Get
out,
some
because he goes
better
into even
quality.
more depth in a lot of these
And if my
topics.
mic
The
is
point of
messing
today's
up,
video,
I'm
though,
sorry about
is to
that.
give you a bit of an overview, to talk about what exactly is going to be coming inside of Edge of Fate. And I would argue and say that the changes that are
Bro,
going
what
to be
is
hitting us
is
with
that
Edge
the
of
new
Fate
hand
are
cannon?
systematic changes
Exotic?
that rivals that of when we got Forsaken. It may not be the
Solemn
biggest in
Remembrance. Wait.
terms of
We need to go back to that.
a Witch Queen, or even more depth in a lot of these topics. The point of today's video, though, is to give you a bit of an overview, to talk about what exactly is going to be coming inside of Edge of Fate. And I would argue and say that the changes that are going to be hitting us with Edge of Fate are systematic changes that rivals that of when we got Forsaken.
Okay.
It may not be the biggest in terms of scope.
That's a new exotic, I believe, guys.
Witch
A
Queen, or
new
Final
exotic
Shape,
Void
or even a
Pulse,
Forsaken,
and then the new
or a
exotic
King.
arms for the
We've
Warlock.
been told already that expansion sizes, as we're going to 2 expansions per year, those being Rise of Iron size. That's why you're going to see the scope a little toned back. However, systematically, this is the largest shift we have ever had inside of Destiny. And I would argue and say that this is what you would see in a sequel. And they're bringing that to us in Edge of Fate.
Tight. Okay. I see you, Aztecross. Yo, what? Bro, Aztecross is taking these videos to the next level, or what?
Now, first and foremost, I think we need to start with the most impactful.
Bro, did you guys see that? Wait. We gotta rewind that. Are those the exotic arms that do that? Hold on real quick.
Now, first and foremost,
Bro, he just blowed up the whole line of people.
One being
Or
3.0,
aliens.
the other one being tier 5 loot. In the Edge of Fate,
Tier
those
5
are
loot.
weapons
Look
and
at, you
armor
can enhance
received
everything
much
now,
needed
guys.
refresh to the
New
stats
armor
and their
too.
perks. Starting
Looks
with
kind of
armor,
cool.
Stats like mobility, recovery, and resilience are now deprecated, and all stats have been replaced, renamed, and given additional benefits, allowing
Oh
players
wow,
to
look at
skill
that.
crafting
It has like a
opportunities. Now, these new
halfway line
stats
between
are
it.
weapons, health, class, grenade,
Dude, we're getting a crazy
melee. Now, most
revamp.
of
This
these
is almost
offer
like a
similar
Destiny
benefits
3.
our stats did previously, but as you can see here, the new cap for stats is now 200, with enhanced benefits being granted when above
You get
100.
enhanced.
And as you can see here, once
Wait,
you
what?
exceed 100
Overshield.
in your stats, you'll be able to see the exact
Increased damage. Oh, you get it.
when you
If
hover
you
over
buff
that
your
stat
stuff, you get
icon.
increased
Now, you're
stuff.
like, whoa, does
Wow.
that stat give you an increase in damage? Why, yes, it does. Not only
That's
does it increase your
insane.
damage in PvE, it also increases your damage, get this, inside of PvP. So no
What?
more resilience, but weapon damage.
Bro,
can
this
be
is gonna...
increased directly.
People are gonna be
Bonus.
melting in PvP
Lots
now.
of testing. Now, each piece of armor focuses on a primary and secondary stat, which determines its affinity. Example, gunner,
Is this a good
specialist,
change, though?
etc. Now, these new stats all have an equivalent
For
to the system we
PvP?
have in place
Now people are
You
gonna be
can add a
doing
mod
more
to
damage
increase
and
that
stuff
specific
without
stats
even...
on a piece of armor by +10 or +5. Now, all of these only cost either
Man, it
one or
looks
three,
even more
with no more
confusing.
mods costing 4 for +10. Now, when you acquire a new piece of gear, you don't have to spend materials to upgrade your mod capacity either, as you'll have a mod capacity of 10 when it drops.
Oh, I
Additionally,
see.
each armor set now comes equipped with a set bonus. We've seen this system before with seasonal
Ooh,
armor. But
okay.
instead of just rep
Look at some of this armor, guys.
Provided by these bonuses, fellas, they're substantial. Now, we've seen a few set bonuses
Aeon
previously in the
Renewal
Bungie live stream,
Hood.
but as you can see here, the Bushido armor has
Bushido
these bonuses. For the
armor?
two-piece, Eido, final blows,
Final
with
blows, freshly drawn reload,
or
heal you.
reloaded weapons heal you. Guys,
Wow.
did you just read that? Final blows with freshly drawn or reloaded weapons heal you. Dude, that's literally all the time. For the four-piece, unfaltering focus, bow,
Wait, does
shotgun,
this
or
work in
sword final
PvP?
blows temporarily reduce incoming damage. Damaging targets with those weapons extends the effect. This is just one example.
Oh, we got an ad, guys. Sorry about that.
You can hear so many things from your opponents, and they can hear the same thing from you.
Okay.
With those weapons extends the effect. This is just one example. And I know for a while now, I have sat down and wondered to myself, how is Bungie...
I think that's the new exotic hand cannon gameplay, guys.
With my current sets of
wow.
This
So you could change to stasis and then arc or what?
Are just too good to pass up. And
so that's the stasis, right?
Gone through
version
before, where we just straight up had things taken from us. This solution is always the better solution. Where we ourselves will
wow, this gameplay looks hecka nice from Bungie. Like the graphics.
Just that good. Now, Masterworking now grants +1 to each of the 3 lowest stats that are present on your armor. Now, both weapons and armor are going to have gear tiers, and these max out at tier 5. And I know some people
wow,
like,
man, you get some rows, you get 3 columns
I
too.
get where you're coming from, but at the same time, it's the simplicity.
I think they have
right?
one of my favorite shaders on that gun. Or that might be a new one, I'm not sure.
Is adding a lot of depth in so many different categories. They're also just trying to make the game more approachable.
Wow, look at that shotgun. That looks beautiful.
How we view gear in the game and which items you should be coveting. Now, armor at tier 5 will have a mod capacity of 11. Tuning mods that allow you to adjust stats similar to Artifice armor and increase.
Okay, so health and increased armor tune stat at the cost of a small amount of grenade stat. Distraction is the deadliest enemy. Okay, so you can
overall stats.
Make
now,
other stats worse.
Will enhance every column, including the origin traits. It will also increase stats, allowing you to apply enhanced versions of weapon mods. It will even have a unique animated shader and the option for custom.
That shader goes crazy. That better work on the cloak, make it look like that, you know.
Only the heavy
on my cloak.
Bar will be present in the UI at the bottom left.
That hand cannon looks nasty for PvP and PvE.
Tied to our ammo generation. No longer is it just this invisible counter nowhere present on our UI, with the number of runs being ruined by RNG. Now let's
exotic hand cannon arc. It shoots arc. Okay, when it's regular, it shoots arc, and then when you change the firing mode, it'll shoot stasis.
Biddy has actually put together a very detailed breakdown of how the new tier loot system will work. We'll have that link down below in the description.
Yeah, this new tier thing looks kind of confusing.
This is a huge systematic change inside of Destiny. The kind of change that you would actually see in a sequel. And to me, guys, this is as impactful as Forsaken was when we finally got special weapons back, with the fluidity to use weapons in whatever slot. The way
it's all just the gameplay looked all laggy.
Go after gear, the way you're going to assess what
from back in the day
are going to change, in my opinion, for the better, especially for players either returning back to Destiny or getting into it for the first time. Which actually takes us to one of the other big changes coming in Edge of Fate, and that's the portal. This one has been a bit more controversial, and I get it. Some of you have been playing Destiny.
So this kind of like sends you where you need, where it wants you to do, where you need to go and stuff.
The portal, although yes, is going to be something even us veteran players will take advantage of, its main focus is to get all players, especially new players and returning.
That's pretty cool. Shout out to Aztecross again, guys, for providing us this content, and Benny too as well. They don't probably know who I am, but I know who they are, and I watch their videos, so shout out to them. And I'm just trying to bring my community the content, you know, because I couldn't go to the event or anything like that, so I'm just reacting to this. I mean, I could have if I got invited, but
and then just simply dive in. Solo players especially will have a dedicated
solo ops
playlist, which will be easily accessible.
So it's kind of doing it like Destiny Rising, taking some cues from Destiny Rising. I feel like slowly they're going to be taking stuff from Destiny Rising and putting it into Destiny 2, you know? Because Destiny Rising is like a beta for Destiny 2 for new stuff to drop.
Never even have to look at the portal. In my opinion, though, this is going to be one of the greatest resources.
Yeah, you don't have to use the portal. That's just optional, you know?
Until you even get there. Now, all of this sounds good and all from the quality of life perspective. But what about that new destination? Guys, the new...
No road, no problem.
Got another ad.
Mario Kart game has...
New destination for Edge of Fate is Kepler, the new planetoid.
Kepler is the new destination, guys. Wow. Look at that gun, too.
However, we do have some footage of the
like, just inspect everything. Everything, the graphics. Ooh, that Zalo's Bane looking smexy. Oh, that's from the concept art. Yo. Well, we need a screenshot. I mean, not screenshot, but Pause
you'll
this
come
somewhere.
across fallen wretches,
Oh, I
captains,
wanted to see that again.
strand and stasis shields, which is attached to their weaponry that after taking a small amount of damage will break. There's also a fallen captain that can suspend you, just like a subjugator. And one thing that was very surprising to me was the sheer number of areas of
Metroid
Kevlar
Prime
that require the use of our dark matter abilities to unlock. Dark matter is going to play a huge role in your ability to solve puzzles, as well as unlocking paths forward that we previously could not. With this, we are gaining access to 3 new abilities, which were described by Bungie as an expression of our subclass powers and dark matter. Now, the first ability we have is Matter Spark, where you basically turn into an arc lightning ball. This will allow you to fit into tight spaces or roll into enemies, and you can stay in this form for 45 seconds, which you can see by this timer on the left-hand side. Now, if you're in a tight space and a timer hits 0, get this, you die. LOL? I actually think that's a funny feature. Now, you can
wait. So it's like literally Metroid.
attack enemies with the lightning bolts. You
can attack them?
Same attack to charge these pylons.
So you could use
As
that
you
in
roll
Crucible
around,
and just run around as a ball
charge
and wreck
meter,
people.
And when you reach max charge, you'll be able to release a shockwave that will jolt enemies. However, keep in mind, this is an upgrade that you receive via progression. So the functionality of each of these may be limited at
Whoa, that
first.
thing's
At
kind of
least
OP.
from my
You see
playing
that?
experience, it was. And there was a noticeable difference when you got your Matter Spark fully amped up. Now, there's also something called the Relocator Cannon, which is pretty much like a weapon
Relocator
pickup similar
cannon.
to a Scorch Cannon, but it's used to
Oh, a new
bypass
Scorch type
the
cannon?
laser arrays. Early on, you can upgrade it to Relocator 2, which gives the projectiles the ability to ricochet off nodes to reach the final teleport pad, as you can see here. Now, the Relocator Cannon
I
also
see,
has some
I
offensive
see.
capabilities. When you
Some
shoot
heads
it,
up, guys.
it's
When Edge of Fate
explosive
drops,
avoid
gotta use that
projectiles, which
Relocator
look
cannon and
identical to
aim
the
it
ones
right.
from Graviton Lance. Now, lastly, we have the Matter Morph, which get this,
Something about
is
Graviton
strand
Lance.
combined with dark matter. This is activated by interacting with these bulbs that can be found around the world, and this will replace your
Matter
melee
Morph?
ability. Now, this allows us to manipulate the environments in different ways, opening up new paths or revealing hidden secrets. This, like the previous 2 abilities, also has some offensive capabilities, as they can be thrown at enemies like strand shurikens. Now, all 3 of these abilities can and will be used in conjunction with one another. You may need to use Mattermorph to raise a platform, to then get access to a plate that needs to be shot with the Relocator Cannon. Or you can use Mattermorph to make a bridge that you can then cross with Matter Spark. So you can see that these abilities are going to be a central focus to the gameplay experience on Kepler. Now, I do want to say there is no new subclass. These new abilities are all we've got. Now, if there are more dark matter abilities aligned with our solar and stasis subclass, we weren't shown them. So if they do exist, it is possible Bungie is keeping them close.
I still like this, though. I still like what Bungie's doing. They're giving us new content still. I can't complain.
This is normally the case. We would normally skip a year. Final Shape kind of threw
They
it
said
kinda
this
whack
was gonna
because
be
we
more
got
like
static.
Metro.
The
You
focus for
could go
Edge of
wherever
Fate,
you
though,
want,
the
right?
reason why I don't think we're getting a new subclass is because Bungie wants to incorporate a different way in which we explore the world. You know, when we sat down with Bungie a while back, one of the biggest topics of discussion was that exploration had not been a focus for Destiny in a very long time. We would get an expansion, we would play the new destination, and then most of us would never even
Yeah, I wanna
return to that
explore.
destination. Many of us never had to do anything to unlock
my
that
thing.
destination outside of playing the campaign. Bungie's taking a different approach with these dark
They
matter
said
abilities,
Metrovania or
using them
something.
as a pivotal piece to unlock
You can
Kepler.
go wherever you
These
want or
abilities are
something.
going to be the key to a lock that only exists on Kepler. And without the lock, the key is essentially useless. I don't know if we're ever going to see a day where we have Matter Spark in the Crucible, or if we ever have like a dark matter subclass. But I will say, with my time playing, Bungie's biggest focus is how do we give the Destiny community a world that they want to get lost in and explore. It's a different take, guys. But if there was ever a point that Bungie should be bold and experimental, I think there's no better time to do it than right now with the Edge of Fate. Some of you are probably going to hate this. I'm just going to point that out. Like, some of you are going to be like, Cross, I just want to go in there. I want to shoot bad guys. Now I got to stop and use my brain. Brother, I feel for you. Trust me. I can't tell you how many times I was doing some of these puzzles and I just felt like an idiot. But then you get that level of satisfaction when you figure it out and you continue to unlock more portions of the map. It's the reason why many of us get lost in RPGs, especially RPGs with Fog of War. We start from one end of the map to the other.
So that's kind of crazy. If you can't figure out the puzzle, how you gonna open up the map? This ain't gonna be like the final shape, guys.
really trying to land here with Kepler and
You're gonna
these
have
dark
to
matter
figure out
abilities
your way
that are
through.
tied to this location. The new artifact arriving with Edge of Fate is called the Implement of Curiosity. Its
Implement of
focus is going to
Curiosity.
be around stasis, strand, and solar mods. You've got options like Frost Renewal, where while you have Frost Armor, taking critical damage releases a burst that freezes nearby combatants and grants Frost Armor to you and nearby allies.
That's OP.
You've got Tangle Web, which is going to beautifully synergize with some of our exotics, especially the newest one. We're creating a tangle by defeating a strand debuff target, suspends nearby combatants. We have Elemental Coalescence, where defeating targets has the chance to create an elemental pickup matching your equipped super elements. Don't worry guys, these are just some examples. We'll have a full video going over artifact mods and even build recommendations going into Edge of
Nice
Fate.
little
These
strand
are
pulse
kind of the
rifle or
theme
what?
that we're going into with our
What is
artifacts
that
for Edge of
bottom
Fates.
thing?
Now where do we go from here? As you can
See,
probably
you
already
get
tell, we're not
bottom
allowed to
energy now. You
discuss
see
any
that on the
story
bottom,
details,
guys?
but I did want to share with you this crazy moment at
What?
the end of the campaign where Saint 14 and Osiris had an straight up. There was so many working parts. Everybody was getting jiggy in the tower. I don't know. There was one over here, another one over here, and I don't even know, man. They were just working them back and forth.
Wait, what?
Needless to say, guys, it's going to be wild. Now, one thing is clear. Edge of Fate is designed to tee up this next saga of Destiny. And there is going to be a big focus on what's going to be rolling out, not just when the expansion comes, but with the conclusion of the campaign and especially the raid. And as it is with every single Destiny expansion, I would expect to have more questions than answers. The goal of this is to suck us in for the next several years. Over the next few months, Bungie will be delving into all of the new systems arriving in Edge of Fate in great detail. That includes swabs, blog posts, and even streams. We'll be tuning into all of them. So if you want to keep up with everything arriving on July the 15th, make sure you stick around as we'll be covering literally everything.
The
What I will
cutscenes
say
go
is that
crazy, huh?
Nine as an entity has been one of the most mysterious in all of Destiny. And I think the tone for this narrative is going to show its teeth very
Did we already
soon.
see
It
that
really
cutscene?
does
I'm not
feel
sure.
like Destiny is growing with us. Who knows? Maybe it's just me. Perhaps it's Allison in our Baldur's Gate background leading the charge narratively. Whatever it is, I think we're all in for a treat. Here very
Look at her eyes, guys. You can't trust her. Oops.
soon we'll be posting our video going over all the new exotics, and as soon as that is up, we'll have it linked above in the top right hand corner in one of the cards, as well as in the description below. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And
Don't
as always,
copyright me, Aztecross, please. Alright, guys, that's going to do it for my reaction. Thoughts on Edge of Fate? My thoughts on that? It looks pretty good, guys. It looks fun. You're going to have to figure stuff out. A lot of new guns and new armor. New changes coming to Destiny 2. I really like this Kepler area. Looks really nice, in my opinion. This Kepler area. Another thing was the portal. That's kind of interesting. You can already just have like a streamlined way of where you're going to go. We got Armor 3.0 Tier 5 loot, which is very insane, guys. This is kind of confusing. You might want to watch some more stuff about this, and don't really watch this video on it because I don't really know much about it. But yeah, this is the intro, exploration, artifact, and that, yeah, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, and most of all, subscribe to Aztecross and everybody who's helping getting this content out, Benny and stuff. Because without them, I wouldn't even be able to see this. And without Bungie making the game, we wouldn't subscribe to Bungie too. Alright guys, have a good one. Peace.
And answer